hard. Will you achieve it? Absolutely. Will you fall apart? 95% chance to say you will. So we want to make sure you have the stats underneath you of generating, right? Like our new culture is elephant talk, right? We're moving the elephant, we ain't moving the ant. The ant automatically moves when you move the elephant. Please write that down. The ant automatically moves when the elephant moves. And in case you don't know what I'm talking about, ant is APV. APV is a historical fact sheet of what your elephant has been doing, which your elephant is your RTWs a month. That's what moves this business. So, Connie, if you want to start right on right what you've learned on do we have a team leader, a key leader underneath us as an agency owner? Does it make it hard? Does it make it easier? And right, the value you've seen in this.
Yeah. So whenever I hit AO, I didn't have I don't have a team leader or key leader below me right now, but I will say that I do have running buddies, right? Even as an AO, you still have running buddies. And me, Clancy, and Tequila, we stick to each other like glue. And I just think that if you are, even if you're a brand new agent, it doesn't matter if you want to build an agency or not, right? Because I didn't come in here wanting to build an agency. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to pay my bills. But just sharing the opportunity with people, you're showing other people that they can get what they want in life too. They can spend time with their kids. They can make more money than they've ever made before, but you're doing it alongside other people. And I can tell you right now that if I would have had team leaders or key leaders below me whenever I hit AO, then I wouldn't be pushing so hard as I am right now. Right. But I had the flu. I've literally been sick since last Monday, and I've been able to work because I work from home. And I've been doing it right alongside my people, and they're supporting me and they're checking in on me. And you don't get that whenever you work alone. But Joe, like you've done it too. I've seen you've checked on me, right? So it's like bring people on with you, because when you bring people on with you and they're running for your goals, you're all running together, you're going to hit your promotions and they're going to hit their promotions, and then NOLA is just right around the corner. So that's what I have to say about it.
I love it. Tickle one of our newest agency owners, right? Like what the value you see in this, right? And what it's done to your organization, dude.
Yeah. So just everyone, just bear with me a little bit. Took quite a bit of notes on here, but I'm kind of like Joe. I'm a numbers guy, but also at the same time, I like to kind of paint the picture perspective, just like when you're sitting with family. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about my experience. Just solely as coming up as a producer with the team, because I was one of the ones that later started at Symmetry. I didn't recruit right away, and kind of like where it's got me today, my business by switching over to being a builder versus a producer. So that whole ant and elephant thing. So and then I'm talk about some leadership and stuff as well. But first off, I do want to talk about conference. So, going to conference here, 2 weeks ago, we just got back. One big thing, I learned, already knew it, right? Just sometimes you have to hear it from different leaders and just get the same thing told to you over and over again to make you make a change for you and your team. But Ryan Miller's class, leading leaders, really stood out to me. And just going back to what Jeff and Joe and everyone's taught me here, that your leaders your team's always watching what you're doing. And even though they may not say something to you, they may not communicate it with you, but if you're not doing anything, they're probably not doing anything either. And just kind of going to conference, got that fire back under me. And just as you guys can see, last week, I wrote 9 apps for 8,300, but I realized that I got to get my butt back to work. I need to do more activity. You got massive action, constant correction. And now on my team, it's funny, I write all this business. Guess how many phone, usually week to week, right? I'll get a couple phone calls from the team checking in with me and asking me questions, hey, I need some help with this, and that, right? Last week, I write 9 apps, 8,300 business. I got more phone calls from my team than I've ever gotten before asking for assistance with this. Hey, can you meet up with me with this? Hey, I booked appointment. I got new RTWs booking their first appointments. More people reaching out to me and reaching up. So that just goes to show you right there, me leading the way and them watching me. They really are watching. So, I learned from conference that I need to step up and continue to grow. Just like Joe said, AO is just the starting point. We all think that's the end game, and that's what I thought when I first came to Symmetry. Man, that's like just get the AO and you're good to go. And then you realize you're not good to go. You're just getting started, and what you thought was tough is just going to get tougher. But the great news is now I get to do it with a team, and I don't have to do it by myself. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of experience, and if I go a little too long, Joe, I apologize. But
rock and roll, buddy.
just a little bit about my experience, coming in as a producer. I've been here 4 years, going on a little 5. I've been here a little longer than some people. But, getting around the leadership, how it's changed me and everything. Coming in when I first started with Symmetry, solely focused on production. Got to win a couple trips, got to have some conversations with our VP Cookie. And Cookie would tell me, hey, Tickle, it's great. If you just want to come in this business and just produce, hey, we'll go on vacation together, drink a couple beers, whatever, and have a good time with one another. And then he would just say, well, when you're really ready to grow, he said, this is really about building. And, it took me a couple years, right? I was like, man, until year 3 to start building. But as from a numbers sake, I'll tell you guys how becoming to learn, being a builder, how it's helped me grow, not just for my team, but for myself as well. So year 2 here, I took Symmetry on full time, and just by the numbers, I submitted $280,000 in business my second year as a producer here. The bad news is I only issued about $150,000 of that. So a lot of you was like, man, 280 is great, but issuing is what really counts here, and that was terrible. That was like a little better than 50% rate, right? So coming into year 3, James and Joe and Jeff, we had a leadership event. We went down to Kissimmee, Florida. We got to stay in a mansion, and we got to write our goals down for that year. And that's when I just started with ZipRecruiter, started slowly building. 2023, I became a key leader. But getting around that fire and learning, about building the team, how it can change you. For the end of 2023, my numbers didn't submit as much, right? It was focused on some building, so it's putting more time towards that. However, I submitted 204,000 business, but guess what? I issued the same amount of business I did the year before. So I helped the same amount of families, but I didn't have to do as much work. But I grew like that, made my issue rate better because I was focused on building a team and not focused on producing. Okay, so it made me a better producer, but at the same time, I'm being a leader for my team, and they got to watch me, still be at the top of the leaderboards, but it helped me grow, where I was able to help more families as well. And just by me taking the advice of our leaders in the organization, I got to not just do that for myself, but my team got to witness that as well. So what's great about Symmetry is, we're all just coaching and teaching on a copycat business, right? We all have access to everyone. We all have multiple mentors we can reach out to at any time. We all have the same training provided to us. No one has anything special versus anyone else. And the ones that are, that are going to make it here are the ones that are willing to do the work. And it's really the ones that are focused on building, we like to say. Now, some producers, if that's all you want to produce, hey, nothing wrong with that, right? But why build a team here, right? This is why we got the vision and everything. So real quick, I'm going to ask everyone, if you've heard of, I'm going back in history here. If you've ever heard of King Arthur?